Ajax. Teucer, come. Where is Teucer? Will he never come back from cattle raiding, while I perish? Leader. He seems in his right mind, but open the doors. Perhaps even the sight of me may sober him. She opens the doors of the tent. Ajax is revealed sitting among the slain beasts. Temesa. See, I have opened. You may now behold what he has done, and in what plight he lies. Ajax. Chanting. Alas! My shipmates and friends, you that alone to me, loyal and true remain, of all friends alone, behold how great a billow lately rising from the storm of blood, surging around engulfs me. Leader. Army, too true, it seems, was thy report. This sight reveals the work of no sane mind. Ajax. Chanting. Alas! My mates, skilled and tried in brave seamanship, ye who embarking drove the wave-cleaving oar, in you alone I see a help and refuge from despair. Smite me, and spill my blood too. Leader. Keep silence from dread words, nor curing ill. Thy ill, so swell the misery of this curse. Ajax. Chanting. Behold now the bold, the man stout of heart, who ne'er shrank in fight against foes. Behold how I have spent my rage on beasts that feared no harm. Army, the mockery! To what shame am I brought low? Temesa. Ajax, my master, I entreat thee, speak not so. Ajax. Chanting. Away hence, I command thee. Take thyself elsewhere. Ei. Leader. Oh, by the gods, we pray thee, yield to wisdom's voice. Ajax. Chanting. Oh, wretch that I was to allow those cursed foes to slip from my hands, and assaulting horned kine and goodly flocks, madly to spill their life in streams of dark blood. Leader. Why still be afflicted, now the deed is done past cure? Never can these things be as though they had not been. Ajax. Chanting. Thou all-spying knave, of all deeds of shame, the prompt, easy too, Odysseus the wise. Villain, of all the camp the most foul and vile. Huge laughter doubtless shakes thee now for sheer delight. Leader. As God appoints, so every man laughs all laments. Ajax. Chanting. Would I might meet him, crushed and broken though I be. Alas! Woe, woe! Leader. Speak no proud words. Seest thou not to what woe thou art sunk? Ajax. Chanting. O Zeus, of my father's desire, might I but kill that hateful and crafty dissembler, yea, and those two brother kings, partners in pride, then last myself to perish. Temesa. If thus thou prayest, pray therewith for me, that die with thee. Why, when thou art dead, should I live on? Ajax. Chanting. Alas! Shadow that art my light. Erebus, O to me verily bright as day. Receive me your habitant. Receive me now no more worthy to seek help of the gods, nor any more from fellow mortal men to claim kindness, no, but she the strong, Zeus-born deity, miserably tortures me. Whither should I then flee? Whither seek for a rest? Since my former glory is gone, my friends, with yonder victims, yonder spoils by frenzy won, since all the host with swords uplifted, sternly would slay me. Temesa. Ah, woe is me! from such a noble warrior, to hear such words as once Iliad had deigned to speak. Ajax, chanting, alas! Billowy paths of foam, eddying caves, and ye coppices by the shore, a weary, weary time tarrying here. Beneath the walls of Troy me have you kept, but from this hour, alive you shall not keep me. Truth I speak, let none doubt it. O Scamander's wave, stream whose neighbouring flow, oft have the Argives blessed, never, never more. Me shall you behold, me, a proud word will I utter now, whose peer in battle Troy has never seen yet come. From Hela's land, but now dishonoured, thus am I prostrate. Leader, in truth I know not how to restrain thy speech, nor yet to suffer it, so grievous is thy couch of woe. Ajax, I, whoever would have thought my name would harmonize so aptly with my woes? For now well may I wail that sound out twice, yea thrice, such woeful destinies of mine, whose father from this land of Ida won fame's noblest man over the whole host, and crowned with praises only sailed back home, but I, his son, who to the selfsame Troy came after him, in might no less than he, nor rendering meaner service by my deeds, dishonoured by the Argives, perish thus. Yet this methinks I know for truth, were now Achilles living and called on to a judge, as the award of valour his own arms, no man's hand would have grasped them before mine. But now the Atridae to a scheming knave have dealt them, thrusting by my valiant deeds. And if these eyes, these wits had not in frenzy swerved from my purpose, never would they thus pervert judgment against another man. But the irresistible fierce-eyed goddess, even as I was arming my right hand to slay them, foiled me, smiting me with a maddening plague, so that I stain my hand butchering these cattle. Thus my foes mock me, escape beyond my reach, through no good will of mine, but if a god thwart vengeance, even the base may escape the nobler. And what should I now do, who manifestly to heaven am hateful, whom the Greeks abhor, whom every Trojan hates, and this whole land? Shall I desert the beached ships, and abandoning the Atridae, sail home o'er the Aegean Sea? With what face shall I appear before my father, Telamon? How will he find heart to look on me, stripped of my championship in war, that mighty crown of fame that once was his? No, that I dare not. Shall I then assault Troy's fortress, and alone against them all achieve some glorious exploit and then die? No, I might gratify the Atridae thus. That must not be. Some scheme let me devise, which may prove to my aged sire that I, his son, at least by nature am no coward. For 'tis base for a man to crave long life, who endures never-varying misery. What joy can be in day that follows day, bringing us close, then snatching us from death? As of no worth would I esteem that man, who warms himself with unsubstantial hopes. Nobly to live, or else nobly to die, befits proud birth. There is no more to say. Leader, the word thou hast uttered, Ajax, none shall call bastard, but the true offspring of thy soul. Yet pause. Let those who love thee overrule thy resolution. Put such thoughts aside. Temesa, O my lord Ajax, of all human ills, greatest is fortune's wayward tyranny. Of a free father was I born the child, one rich and great as any Phrygian else. Now am I a slave, for so the gods, or rather, thy warrior's hand, would have it. Therefore since I am thy bedfellow, I wish thee well, and I entreat thee by domestic zoos, and by the embraces that have made me thine, doom me not to the cruel taunts of those who hate thee, left a bond slave in strange hands. For shouldst thou perish and forsake me in death, that very day assuredly I shall be seized by the Argives, with thy son, to endure henceforth the portion of a slave. Then one of my new masters with barbed words shall wound me scoffing, see the concubine of Ajax, who was mightiest of the host, what servile tasks are hers who lived so daintily. Thus will men speak, embittering my hard lot, but words of shame for thee and for thy race. Nay, piety forbid thee to forsake thy father in his drear old age, thy mother, with her sad weight of years, who many a time prays to the gods that thou come home alive. And pity, O king, thy son, who without thee, to foster his youth, must live the orphaned ward of loveless guardians. Think how great a sorrow, dying, thou wilt bequeath to him and me. For I have nothing left to look to more, save thee. By thy spear was my country ravaged, and by another stroke did fate lay low my mother and my sire to dwell with Hades. Without thee then what fatherland were mine? What wealth? On thee alone rests all my hope. O take thought for me too. Do we not owe remembrance where we have met with any joy? For kindness begets kindness evermore, but he who from whose mind fades the memory of benefits, noble is he no more. Leader, Ajax, would that thy soul would feel compassion, as mine does, so wouldst thou prove her words. Ajax, verily my approval shall she win, if only she find heart to do my bidding. Temesa, dear Ajax, in all things will I obey. Ajax, then bring me here my son, for I would see him. Temesa, nay, but I sent him from me in my fears. Ajax, during my late affliction, is that thy meaning? Temesa, lest by ill chance he should meet thee and so perish. Ajax, yes, that would have been worthy of my fate. Temesa, that at least I was watchful to avert. Ajax, I praise thine act and the foresight thou hast shown. Temesa, since that is so, what shall I do to serve thee? Ajax, let me speak to him and behold his face. Temesa, he is close by in the attendant's charge. Ajax, why is his coming then so long delayed? Temesa, calling, my son, thy father calls thee. Bring him thither, whichever of you is guiding the child's steps. Ajax, is the man coming? Has he heard thy call? Temesa, see, he is here already with the child. An attendant enters, leading the child, Arisaces. Ajax, lift him up, lift him hither. He will not shrink in terror at sight of yonder new spilt blood, if he be rightly mine, his father's son. Early must he be broken to his sire's stern rugged code, and grow like-natured with him. O son, mayst thou prove happier than thy father, in all else like him, and though prove not base. Yet even now might I envy thee herein, that of these woes thou hast no sense at all. For the life that is unconscious is most sweet, until we learned what joy and sorrow are. But that once learnt them midst thy father's foes, thou must show what thou art, and of what breed. Till then be nurtured on soft airs, cherishing thy tender life, and be thy mother's joy. None of the Greeks, I know, will do thee wrong, with cruel outrage, even though I be gone. So trusty a guardian will I leave thee, Teucer, who will not stint his loving care, though now he is gone far away in chase of foes. But you, my warriors, comrades in seafaring, on you too I impose this task of love, and fail not to announce my will to Teucer, that to my home he take the child and show him to Telamon and my mother Arabia, that henceforth he may comfort their old age. And charge him that no game steward make my arms a prize for the Greeks, nor he who ruined me. But this take thou, my son Arsaces, hold it and wield it by its firm stitched thong, this sevenfold spear-proof shield, whence comes thy name. But else with me my arms shall be interred. Speaking now to Temesa, come, take the child hence quickly, and bolt the doors, and let there be no weeping and lamenting before the hut. Women love tears too well. Close quickly. It is not for a skilful leech to drone charms o'er a wound that craves the knife. Leader, I am fearful, listening to this eager mood. The sharp edge of thy tongue, I like it not. Temesa, O my lord Ajax, what art thou purposing? Ajax, question me not. To be discreet is best. Temesa, army, heavy is my heart. Now by thy child, by the gods, I entreat, forsake us not. Ajax, vex me no further. Know'st thou not that I to the gods owe no duty any more? Temesa, utter no proud words. Ajax, speak to those who listen. Temesa, wilt thou not heed? Ajax, too much thou hast spoken already. Temesa, yes, through my fears, O king. Ajax, close the doors quickly. Temesa, for the gods' love, relent. Ajax, 'tis a foolish hope, if thou shouldst now propose to skewer my mood. The doors are closed upon Ajax. Temesa goes out with Arsaces. Chorus. Singing. O famed Salamis, thou midst breaking surges abidest ever, blissful, a joy to the eyes of all men. But I the while long and wearily tarrying, through countless months still encamped on the fields of Ida, in misery here have made my couch, by time broken and worn, in dread waiting the hour, when I shall enter at last the terrible shadow abode of Hades. Now dismays me a new despair, this incurable frenzy, woe, woe's me, cast by the gods on Ajax, whom thou bold sentest forth from thy shores, a strong and valiant chief, but now, to his friends a sore grief, devouring his lonely heart he sits. His once glorious deeds are now fallen and scorned, fallen to death without love from the loveless and pitiless sons of Atreus. His mother, this most like, burdened with many days, and whitened with old age, when she shall hear how frenzy has smitten his soul to ruin, Ilion will break forth her despair, not as the nightingale's plaintive, tender lament, no, but in passion's wailing, shrill-toned cries, and with fierce strokes, wildly smiting her bosom, in grief's anguish her hands will rend her grey locks. Yea, better hell should hide one who is sick in soul, though there be none than he sprung from a nobler lineage of the war-weary Greeks, yet, strayed from his inbred mood, now amidst alien thoughts dwells he a stranger. Hapless father, alas, bitter the tale that waits thee, thy son's grievous affliction. No life save his alone, of the acid kings such a curse as ever haunted. Ajax enters, carrying a sword. As he speaks, Temesa also enters. Ajax, all things the long and countless lapse of time, brings forth, displays, then hides once more in gloom. Naught is too strange to look for, but the event may mock the sternest oath, the firmest will. Thus I, who late so strong, so stubborn seemed, like iron dipped, yet now grow soft with pity, before this woman, whom I am loath to leave, midst foes a widow with this orphan child. But I will seek the meadows by the shore, there will I wash and purge these stains, if so I may appease Athena's heavy wrath. Then will I find some lonely place, where I may hide this sword, beyond all others cursed, buried where none may see it, deep in earth. May night and Hades keep it there below. For from that hour my hand accepted it, the gift of Hector, deadliest of my foes, naught from the Greeks towards me hath sped well. So now I find that ancient proverb true, foes' gifts are no gifts, profit bring they none. Therefore henceforth I study to obey the gods, and reverence the sons of Atreus. Our rulers are they, we must yield. How else? For to authority yield all things most dread and mighty. Thus must winter's snowy feet give place to summer with her wealth of fruits, and from her weary round doth night withdraw, that day's white steeds may kindle heaven with light. After fierce tempest calm will ever lull the moaning sea, and sleep, that masters all, binds life a while, yet loosens soon the bond. And who am I that I should not learn wisdom? Of all men I, whom proof hath taught of late, how so far only should we hate our foes, as though we soon might love them, and so far do our friend service, as to one most like, some day to prove our foe, since oftenest men in friendship but a faithless haven find. Thus well am I resolved. To Temesa, thou, woman, pass within, and pray the gods that all things so may be accomplished as my heart desires. And you, friends, heed my wishes as she doth, and when he comes, bid Teucer he must guard my rights at need, and withal stand your friend. For now I go whither I needs must pass. Do as I bid. Soon haply you shall hear, with me, for all this misery, this most well. Ajax departs. Temesa goes into the tent. Chorus. Singing. Athrill with rapture, flutter on wings of ecstasy. Io, Io, Pan, Pan. O Pan, Pan. From the stony ridge, snow-bestrewn of Cylleni's height, appear roving across the waters, O dance-ordering king of gods, that thou mayst join me in flinging free fancy measures of Nyssa and of Knossos. Yea, for the dance I now am eager. And over the far Icarian billows come, O King Apollo, from Delos in haste, come thou, thy kindly power here in our midst revealing. Ours hath lifted horror and anguish from our eyes. Io, Io. Now again, now, O Zeus, can the bright and blithe glory of happier days return to our swift voyaging ships, for now hath Ajax wholly forgot his grief, and all rites due to the gods he now fain would meetly perform with loyal worship. Mighty is time to dwindle all things. Naught would I call too strange for belief, when Ajax thus beyond hope hath learnt to repent his proud feuds, and lay aside anger against the Adriadae. A messenger enters.